We are facing an education crisis. You've got teachers leaving the profession at a rate of knots. They're complaining about increasing workloads, lack of discipline in the classroom. Well, the New South Wales government is considering using artificial intelligence to help free teachers up from paperwork and other non-teaching tasks, which take up a lot of their time. You wrote the story about this in the telly, Joe. Yeah. Tell us about it.
It's a brilliant idea. I mean, AI, as we all know, is evil, and the machines are going to rise up and enslave us all. But it's here, it's not going anywhere. And so we might as well put it to good use and make sure there are appropriate safeguards in place so that it doesn't just get used willy-nilly. And again, if you just say, this is all evil, it's terrible, then people go, all right, fine, let's just do whatever we feel like. This means that basically, we all know that teachers are being crippled, strangled by red tape. They're being strangled by bureaucracy. Artificial intelligence could be used to do things like, you know, a risk assessment for an excursion was one example that was given to me. So it's like, you know, dear ChatGPT, I've got 20 kids, you know, aged 16 going to Taronga Zoo on an excursion. One of them's in a wheelchair. Can you plot out a risk assessment, plot out, you know, a pathway that gets me there so we don't have to use steps or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And again, it just means the teacher doesn't have to do that because, of course, that sort of stuff has nothing to do with actually teaching and is not what the teacher is trained for in the first place. So it means that you can kind of just set and forget this and other, you know, bureaucratic tasks, record keeping, all that sort of stuff that teachers sort of have to do because we live in this kind of crazy cotton wool, litigious, you know, we can't tolerate any risk whatsoever. Yes. So, you know, everyone knows if your kid falls over and grazes a knee, a teacher has to fill out an incident report form, and then you've got to go in and sign it. It's insane. So if you could get the robots doing all this, frees up teachers to teach in the classroom, and it might distract the robots from plotting to take over humanity.
That's a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
The devil makes quick work out of idle hands.
The only thing I worry about, Evelyn, is that it starts with that stuff and then it becomes something else and something else and something else.
When do the police start using AI to do their contingency plans for search warrants and drug busts? Like, oh my goodness. Because, I mean, I've actually done a few research type tests in AI just to sort of see, is it accurate? And I write for cauldronpool.com. It's a Christian conservative website. And if you type in to AI who's the owner of that, totally wrong. It's like totally wrong, like not even right. So I guess my question, Joe, would be perhaps that's, I'm not totally against AI. I'm sort of like, I think that there's been great sort of discussions about how it could be used for good. And I think there is potential for that for sure, but are we there yet?
Yeah,
Have we nutted these things out? Because, I mean, I don't know if I would want my kids' safety being put on the head of some AI robot that has even got something so simple like what I just said, a test wrong. Well, so I would be worried about that. And like you said, where does it end? Yeah. And, I mean, these teachers, I mean, it's going to start off with risk assessments and then next it'll be like, sorry, but you are terrible and I'm now going to teach the class.
Well, I actually know someone who uses AI for, like, basic legal advice, not anything complicated, but he's worked out that he can go to AI and get an answer to a very simple question that's sort of out of his purview, but he doesn't have to pay a solicitor to give
clever.
the answer.
What I would like to know is if AI is going to handle all of this super annoying parents who like bug the teachers every day.
Helicopter parents. Look, if AI can do
failure.
that, I'll be all for it.
Can I say there's a better use for AI in education, and it's marking assignments. Ask any teacher. The thing that drives them nuts, that keeps them up at night.
The kids are using AI to do their
assignments. I think it's brilliant because it takes all the personality out of it. You recognise someone's writing right. Yes, they're not going to do very well. And I actually, one of my lecturers at university years ago, he said, mate, marking assignments is so dreadful. He said, I chuck them around the room. On the floor, they pass. On the furniture, they get credit. On the mantelpiece, they get a high credit.
And from then on, you started using weighted paper, so you'd make sure that your assignment was off the ground.
I can't see why you need AI rather than standard computers to do a lot of that stuff. And those computers are already there and they should already be taking a lot of that burden off the shoulders of teachers. Use the AI to do the really clever stuff.